Buongiorno, my friends! It's Flight Sergeant Squires, and welcome back to the Squires Kitchen. So last week we made a little sweet treat, and this week we're going to flip over to the salty side by making some homemade gnocchi and a homemade butter sage sauce. So to start off this recipe, we started with 4 white russet potatoes, and we boiled those in water for roughly 20 to 30 minutes. And you want to leave the peel on. This will help with flavor, but it'll also help the potatoes dry quicker. And the really easy way to peel these potatoes, these ones are dry, so it's a little bit harder now, but you can just find a section and you just pinch and the peel comes right off like that. So that's how you peel your potatoes nice and quickly. So here's our pre-mashed potatoes. So that's 4 russet potatoes again. They're already mashed up, and to that we're gonna add a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of salt, and just like the Italians do, we're gonna go with our hands and we're gonna mix the salt and pepper right in. So you wanna make sure that you have nice, clean hands before doing this. Ooh, okay. And then you're gonna make a well with your potatoes, and you're gonna add 1 egg. This is just an already mixed up egg. We're gonna add that, and then we're going to put all the potato on top, like so. And then we're just gonna mix this all up together. Okay, my friends, and our next step is you're going to find a nice big surface in your home. That can be a cutting board or your counter. You're going to want to sanitize it and make sure that it's nice and clean. And then you're going to take some flour. This is just a cup of all-purpose flour. It doesn't matter how much you have. You just need some extra flour on hand for sprinkling and in case your dough is a little too soft. So then we're going to take our potato egg mixture, and I'm just going to scoop this onto our counter and get it all on the counter. And if you're wondering why we put the flour on the counter first, is so that it helps to make sure that the potato doesn't stick. So next we're going to take, this is a cup and a half of all-purpose flour, and we're going to do little by little. So that's roughly half. And we're gonna knead the flour into the potato. We're making a nice potato dough. So the consistency that you're looking for is just like almost like a bread dough, basically. Or if you've made other pastas before, that's what you're looking for. Not too sticky, so if you touch it that your hands get stuck to the potatoes, but not too hard that it's, you know, a dense ball. We want a little bit of moisture to it. But see, this one is still a little too sticky, so we're gonna try and get all the rest of this flour in there, and maybe a little bit more actually. Okay, we're back and we finished kneading our gnocchi dough, and we've just made it into a little ball-ish thing here. And now that it's all kneaded out, we've covered the whole dough in flour, and we put some more flour down, lots of flour, because now we're gonna make our actual little gnocchi. So we're gonna cut our dough into 4 sections. I should put some flour on the knife first. There, just like that. We're gonna set aside these 3 sections here, and we're gonna work with our 1 section. So with lots of flour down, we're gonna take it out. We're gonna take off a little chunk of our dough, roll it into a ball. And then we're gonna roll that ball out. Might be easier to do with my hands like this. Okay, and you want to roll out your little snakes, we'll call them, into nice even sizes. And then you're just going to cut them into little pieces of gnocchi. Ah! Okay. Okay, so you're going to take this fork here. You're going to take your gnocchi. You're going to put it at the base of the fork. And you're going to roll upwards until you get these little spines on your gnocchi. Or you could take your plain gnocchi, put a little bit more flour on it, kind of bunch it up there, and just do a nice little thumb press in the middle. There's definitely two ways you can do it. But there they are. You can do little spine rolls or a little thumb press. So I'm going to finish up the rest of these gnocchi, and I'll be right back. Okay, and we finished with rolling out our little gnocchis. They're not perfect, but who is? And that's the beauty of making these little special snowflakes. Okay, so we have a nice big pot of water boiling with like a teaspoon and a half of salt. The salt is just going to help flavor our water, okay? Now, a trick with our gnocchi is we don't want to just dump this whole thing in, because first off, you'll splash yourself, and second off, all your gnocchi will stick to each other. So this is a timely process, but it must be done. But we gently place each gnocchi in, one at a time. Oh, there they go. Now, over to my left here, we have a pan with 2 tablespoons. Again, that's 2 tablespoons of butter. And that has been on for about 2 minutes now. And we're just waiting till that butter gets a little bit more brown. Now, when we brown our butter, it's going to release a nice, almost sweetish flavor to it. And it's just going to make for a really nice sauce to pair with our gnocchi. So one at a time, placing these bad boys in. And we'll know our gnocchi are done when they float to the top, okay? So take a quick look. Our gnocchi is boiling at the top, almost ready to be popped out. We have our butter here that's a little bit more brown, so it's going to release that yummy flavor. We have 2 cloves of, I almost said ginger, 2 cloves of garlic. And we are going to squeeze those and pop those in. Sorry, we're going to pop those into our sauce. It's okay to have a little fun in the kitchen. And then we have some fresh rubbed sage. And this is actually from the Squire's family garden. Very special. So we're going to take some sage and you're going to rub it while you add it into the sauce. Oh, it smells so nice. Okay, a little bit more sage. Okay, we're just gonna mix the garlic and the sage in with the butter a little bit. Not too much though, because now we're gonna add our gnocchi. So, we're just gonna take little bits out at a time. Make sure we're draining out that water, and then you can plop your gnocchi right into our butter, sage, and garlic sauce. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. Almost there. Okay, so now that we have all of our gnocchi in the pan, we're gonna stir them up. And the trick to these is you just want to get a little, very light golden browning on our gnocchi, just to crisp them up, to add a little bit more texture to them, and so that they soak up that yummy butter sauce we just made. Okay, my friends, we plated our butter sage gnocchi in a nice presentable bowl. We put some Parmesan and some pepper on them, and they're ready to be eaten. We're gonna try some right here. Bon appetito! See you next time!